shift gears then and connect with another management. Vipul Mathur is the MD and CEO at Welspun Corp, joining in to talk about the new order wins from the US as well as their overall strategy. Good to have you on board. Let's begin by talking about this new order. It's in the United States. So what is the value of this order and where does this take your overall order book? Because I understand that as of the end of Q1 FY23, it stood at 13,400 crores.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having on this show. This particular order is a very, very significant and strategic and a breakthrough order for us. It is for a pipeline which we are going to supply. This pipeline is 1,250 kilometers pipeline, which we are going to supply in US. And this pipeline is going to carry carbon capture. So this is not a typical oil pipeline or a gas pipeline, but it is a futuristic new energy pipeline which is going to carry carbon capture. So from that perspective, this is a very, very important breakthrough in the history of Welspun. And this is, we are so very pleased to have this. So in terms of tonnage, it is almost, as I said, it is in terms of kilometers, it is 1,250 kilometers of pipeline. And in terms of tonnage, it is almost over 100,000 tons. And in terms of pricing, it is close to $200 million. So that is with respect to this particular order. These pipes will be made in our US plant and will be supplied to a customer in US. And with this order in hand, I think so for our product, for this product pipeline, for this product, the plant what we have in US has a clear order book for next for almost 5 to 6 quarters. So we would be booked till at least for sure till end of 2023. If I talk overall, overall our order book is in excess of close to 1 million ton. And in terms of order value, we are almost close to $2 billion at this point in time. More importantly, while this is the current state of affairs, but I think so what is important is the future part of it and the future potential both in the oil and gas pipeline and the water pipeline in which we also have a major play looks fairly robust.
Since you did touch upon the US business, I wanted to understand, given that business has not bounced back to pre-COVID levels yet, what is the visibility that you have and when is it that you expect this segment to come back to around COVID levels?
See, we have to address this issue on two fronts. Number one, whether the oil and the gas demand and the pricing stays strong or not. And which today, if you look at it, both the demand as well as the pricing, both of them are extremely firm. And I am seeing no, letting down or going down of the prices in the near future. That's one part of it, which means that the capex cycle, which has been missing in the US oil and gas sector for a long time, is now coming back. The reflection of that is very, very clear. As you must have noticed that a few weeks back, we announced one of the largest order what Welspun has won for almost 5,000 crore rupees or crore rupees. So for us, we have two plants there. One is a large diameter plant and one is a small diameter plant. The large diameter plant, the order which we announced a couple of weeks back, will again take us to for next 5 to 6 quarters. The small diameter plant on which we are talking today, is again giving us a very robust a confirmed order business visibility for next 5 to 6 quarters. So from our operations perspective, I think so we are pretty much done for 5 to 6 quarters at this point in time from our US asset perspective. But if I talk overall as an industry, I think so from an industry perspective also, there is a paradigm shift. There is a huge shift which is now happening. And there is, there is an investment which is now coming up for oil and gas as well as the renewables. So the capex which was missing in the oil and gas sector in the US market for a long time, 3 to 4 years, there was hardly any capex which was being done. We are seeing that coming back. And we are one of the largest beneficiaries of that because we being the leader in that industry in the US market. But I am sure that in times to come, there are much more prospects which are also coming up on the table, and others may also get benefited out of that too.
Sure. What about the traction with regards to the ONG investments on the ground? Because we've been hearing a lot about pickup in investments. Is that actually happening?
It is actually happening. All the major E&P companies or the midstream companies who are investing, who are predominantly investing into fields or the development of pipelines. I think so. They are definitely coming back on the table. We are seeing companies like Shell, Exxon, Total, Mobil, Aramco's of the world They have assets all over the world, and on all the assets globally, they are now investing in terms of developing those fields, and of course, which necessitates putting up correspondingly the pipelines for that. So we are seeing all those, this capex cycle now coming back on the table. Because why I say so, that on the US side of it, we have been a direct beneficiary. On the Indian side of it also, we are seeing the oil and gas, oil grid being created, the gas grid being created, and the city gas distribution grid being created. So that's on the Indian side of it, and it is year on year basis. It is absolutely consistent for the last 3 or 4 years rather. And the way it looks like that next 4 or 5 years also, it is going to be very consistent. When I move to the, let's say, Southeast Asia market or the Middle East market, we are seeing a lot of traction coming up on the projects at this point in time. How we know it is that we have participated in those global projects, and we are favorably placed in few of them. The last piece is about this the development or the situation which is in Europe. Right today, with the Europe energy crisis which is happening, I think so the things have got further accelerated in the European market as well, and that also is a huge market which has opened up. So from an oil and gas pipelines, I think so there is definitely a tailwind which is in place. It has been missing for the last couple of years, but now it has already started. We have started seeing the benefit. We have started getting orders around that. But what is important is that it is going to stay for next 4 to 5 years. That's the visibility we are getting. The second aspect to that is that apart from this conventional oil pipelines or the gas pipeline, I think so there is a lot of interest which is now coming back on hydrogen, ammonia, and carbon capture pipelines. And these are the pipelines for the future. And that is where, and this is the particular segment which Welspun wanted to foray into, Welspun wanted to take a lead position into. And as we speak today, by having this carbon capture pipeline, we have made a significant entry into this particular segment.
Appreciate your time. Thanks much for joining in and giving us a view on your US business as well as the growth strategy for the company.